Hey, 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 Jamie Ivey here with the YouTube show, the Happy Hour Quarantine Edition. Do you know what this Quarantine Edition is about, Amos? This is my son, Amos.
Yep.
What's it about?
Don't know. To have fun.
It's to have fun. So the Happy Hour Quarantine Edition is brought to you by my friends and publishers at B&H. We thought it'd be fun to chat with some friends about what quarantine life has been like. What's quarantine life been like for you?
Really fun.
Really fun. We did some fun things today, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to make it fun around here. I'm talking with my friend Shelley Giglio today. If you don't know Shelley Giglio, you need to know Shelley Giglio. We talk about a lot of things, but one of the things in particular that we talk about is worship music. I love worship music, and it's a good thing because my husband
is a worship pastor.
And so it's a good thing. But we talk about how important it is right now in moments like this to worship God and what it does to our hearts when we do that. It's good, huh?
Oh yeah.
But before the conversation with Shelley, things got a little crazy over at my house the other night. I'll give you a clue. Amos used to have dreads.
I know.
This is a little episode we call Quarantine Made Me Do It. Here's one thing we've learned about quarantine. You get really bored. You gotta come up with creative things to do.
Kaden, what are we about to do?
We're about to shave me and Alex's and my dad's beard and then our heads.
Why are we doing this?
Nothing else to do.
All right, that's a handshake.
Okay.
We're all in. Nobody can chicken out.
What are you doing for Kaden?
I'm gonna do a 3-guard.
I'm just kidding, Dad. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, I'll leave it here then.
Hold on. Look. How do I look?
You look good. You look like Joe Exotic.
Thank you.
Kaden.
We don't have the same color. Well, I used to have one, but then the hair stopped growing.
Oh my gosh.
Down, baby. Let me do it. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So, I'm shaving my beard off for the first time in 18 years. This is never, I haven't used a razor on this in 18 years. Jamie won't even recognize me.
Am I gonna hurt you?
Mm-hmm.
Ow! Dang it.
Dad has many regrets.
You look great,
Do the other
dude.
side.
You look great.
No.
Dad.
You look great. You look great.
You look awesome. Man, you have such great skin.
Y'all, this feels terrible.
All right, now for the mustache. No, you.
Y'all, great job. Y'all, come here. Someone's here to see y'all. Come here.
Deacon, what do you think?
Bad.
It's bad?
Wow.
They just shave their heads.
It's like what?
So Dad's the pack, the leader of the sheep. Then they all just go back down the hill and fall off a mountain.
So Dad's the leader, and he's like, "Hey, let's shave our heads." And then what do they all do?
They just jump off a cliff with him.
Quarantine made me do it.
Amos, are you ready? Look at me and say yes, cut.
I'll look a lot older.
Yeah.
Look at me and say yes.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Tomorrow you'll be like, this is awesome.
You do look older.
Amos, look. Amos, look.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That will happen.
I'll go slower, my bad.
Amos, what do you think?
I like it.
Dude, you look awesome. Let me see. Alex did it good. Oh my gosh.
Quarantine made me do this.
Jamie Ivey, one of my favorite people.
for you.
Hey, that shirt, that X has circled the globe. And I think it is one of the most remarkable stories because, you know, anybody that's alive today would feel like it's a good thing to end human trafficking. But then to be able to create an image that people carry with them as a symbol of doing that is one of the greatest gifts. And I love that you're wearing it today because we couldn't believe in ending slavery more than we do in this very moment. It's essential that we all come around that as human beings. So I love it.
I was there. We have someone living with us right now. He's been with us since January. No one freak out. We haven't invited anyone into our home during quarantine.
That's good.
But I walked into Aaron's studio today and I was like, hey, I know you might not recognize me because girl showered and like put a comb through her hair today.
I am so impressed.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
all that to say, Alex was like, hey, is that shirt from the End It movement? And I was like, yes. So
I love it.
Totally
it's just so interesting how God can create a moment that, you know, gets etched in our brains as being just sort of a remembrance of how we can help today. And so it just makes me happy when I see it because it means people are activating towards something that's really important. So it's awesome.
I love it so much. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. It's been a crazy full day, but I'm doing well. We're all trying to figure out life right now, right?
So tell me, what does life look like for you? Like, how are you guys adjusting to work and leading a church and leading organizations and everything that you normally do? How are you doing that now?
Well, it's all changed. Everybody knows that everything changed. And I'm sitting in my house today, just like you're sitting in your office near your house. Definitely playing by the rules. And I honestly, you know, I hear people on all sides of this thing. And I feel like sometimes as Christians, we feel like we're an exception. Well, God will protect me and I won't get this virus. And God is telling us today, I think in the most clear terms, hey, I've put authority over your life and I'd like for you to obey it. And I want you to actually lead the way in that and not be the follower of other people. So lead the way in actually taking the authority and the information that's been given to us and trying to do the right thing. So we're doing that at every level in our world. But it doesn't mean that I have backed down at all in boldness for the gospel or in any way retreated in life to, hey, I'm secluded in these four walls and I can't make a difference today. Instead, I think it's propelled me. I don't know about you, but I feel more vibrant and more called and more alive in these days, which people would consider to be super hard days, than I've probably felt in years. And I think it's because what we hold when the whole bottom drops out of everything is hope. Mm-hmm. And his name is Jesus. And that's what's in our hand today. And so I might be acquiescing to all the things that I need to do to make sure this virus doesn't spread. And I want to do my part just like all of humanity should. But man, I am bold about holding hope. And so today that filters through doing live gatherings with all the rules protected on Sundays. It looks like creating music that people want to sing in these days, because worship in our mouths has become such a powerful tool to say to God, I trust you in spite of what I see, is one of the most powerful things that we hold today. So I'm a part of that. I'm a part of leading people to actually take hold of the idea that our goal and purpose on being on earth is to love God, to know God, and to make him known. And I want to help people do that today. So whether that's through stuff like Flourish that we've created, where women can actually get to know the word, that they can come every day and submit themselves to God and grow their life so that they are firmly established and can maintain through any circumstance. I want to be a part of that today. So gosh, my life is spread all over, but it's one of the greatest days, I think, that we've ever been alive.
You know, it's funny because you talk about making music and how important just like worship is right now.
Yeah.
And my husband, you know this, Shelley, but the people watching might not know. My husband Aaron's a songwriter, and he's been writing songs like crazy, Shelley.
Yeah, I love it.
Mean, he comes in almost every day and he's like, listen to this, like I don't even know the words because I don't know music stuff. But he's like, listen to this melody or this chorus or whatever. And he's just like, and that's something that he's challenged his team with. And I don't know how you're dealing with this with your worship leaders and worship team and pastors at Passion, but he's really challenged, like, hey, you're at home, but you're not on vacation at home.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, you're still able to do things. And so he's really challenged them, like, how many songs can you write over the next however many 6 weeks or whatever it turns into that we can't gather as a community. So he's really challenging them to be songwriters in the midst of it.
Same. I think it's an opportunity. I think, you know, we can see it as a downside, and it certainly has its downsides, but it also has its opportunities. And I'm always a glass half full kind of person. So I'm going to look at the opportunities that God's provided. Our church, for instance, had never been online before. We are after the fact. We post our talks and messages, and those have been consumed by a lot of people. And I think it really is building people's faith and trust in God. But we'd never have had live gatherings. But interestingly enough, we had been rehearsing to have live gatherings for 7 months leading up to this moment. Now, you don't think God is preparing us.
What were
He is
you guys
preparing.
rehearsing for?
We were getting ready. We were preparing ourselves. We were getting all the technicalities worked out. We were recording and actually mixing the sound so that the sound could sound amazing. We were actually sending it to people in spaces around, trying to see how they received it, what their feedback was. So we've been working on this process of going live with church for all these months, leading up to a moment where we really needed that to happen. Now, I don't know that God always does it that way, but for us, we could see that he was working when we didn't even understand what he was doing.
That's crazy.
And then when he said, hey, hit launch because of this moment, we were prepared. So I think the reality is there's opportunity for that everywhere. And God is preparing us for things that we didn't know we would ever hold or steward. But he's given us the gift of himself in it with us. And he's actually walking with us as we encounter these days. And so I have a lot of confidence in God. My trust in God is not less, it's actually more.
I believe that.
All right, Amos.
What?
We got another segment for them.
What is it?
This is a segment about Dad making something.
Stump Dad with food?
Not Stump Dad with food. We
Oh,
already,
we already did that one.
we
yeah.
already did Chopped.
Yeah.
And he made some good food. You can see that on another episode. But this is where Aaron and Story make Aaron's worldwide famous
Vegan queso.
vegan queso. Amos, are we vegan?
No.
No, we're not. Do we like vegan queso?
Yes.
We do. Aaron makes really good vegan queso, and we've got it for you. So get your pen out.
My name is Story, and today we will be making vegan queso. We make vegan queso because some people here are allergic to dairy. I don't think it tastes like a regular queso, but it does taste really good.
So even if you're not vegan, you could like it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll run through the ingredients. We have 1 white onion quartered, 1 large tomato quartered, 5 cloves of garlic, just not chopped or anything, 1 jalapeno halved, and then I had some shallots laying around, so why not? And then 1 cup of nutritional yeast, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of ancho chili powder, 2 teaspoons of red chili flakes, 2.5 cups of raw unsalted cashews, 4 cups of water, salt and pepper, olive oil. Boom.
Okay, so this is everything you need to make vegan queso.
That's it. And some jalapenos and cilantro for garnish at the end. So Story, first of all, is going to put cashews into the water. We're going to boil that bad boy for like 20 minutes. We're just going to get those cashews all mushy. While we're doing that, all of these vegetables are on a roasting pan, so olive oil, salt, and pepper. We'll roast it, or actually we're going to broil it until they're charred. Put it in a broiler.
And then how long does it go in there for?
Just until they're kind of like almost charred, so you gotta kind of watch it, maybe 10 minutes. We started making vegan queso because Story's allergic to dairy. 2 of the boys don't want to eat dairy to keep their face clean, you know. But every vegan queso I've ever had is just okay. So I decided I'm gonna figure out how to make it. All right, Story.
Yes, sir.
Put all your dry ingredients in here.
Yes, sir.
Are we vegans? People often ask that.
We are not vegans. We are vegans. A fake vegan.
Okay.
I like that.
What do you call a fish without an eye?
Cooked fish.
No, it's a
I get it. Hey, Dad, dry ingredients are in.
Almost.
Almost. It's almost ready, guys.
Here's what it should look like.
Okay.
Kind of burnt. Then take your cashews and all the water, put it in here, blend up, you got queso. Here we go, it's about to be loud, y'all.
Yummy.
Okay, I'm officially done. All right, that is our vegan queso.
Muy bueno.
Hot. I would recommend this to people who can't have dairy. Woo, that's spicy.
Some
But
onions
wait.
on it, some cilantro, jalapenos.
This is how our family makes vegan queso. So now you go make your own vegan queso for your family. Bye.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Louie's preaching to an empty room, basically.
He is, and that's a hard thing.
I want to know, what has he said about that? Because
I
keep
have complete respect for him.
our
Um,
pastors are preaching to like a camera, so we're pre-recording them. But he and I think that's hard in and of itself. But preaching
Yes.
to an empty room, what does he say about it?
Yeah, I think it's challenging. It has its whole different challenges. I think you don't realize in communication how much, just like I am with you right now, how much you're giving back to me, and it's a give and take.
Yeah.
And we're pushing things forward, and then we're receiving from each other. When you have an empty room, you really don't have any feedback. You don't have anybody saying that's a good word or amen or yeah, we're with you. It's more like I'm in here by myself trying to create all of the energy that's necessary for this to come across in the way that I think is most effective. And so obviously it's challenging. I can't, literally, he's asked me a couple times, hey, would you be open? I'm like, no, because I feel like I'm not prepared for that. So, you know, God also has prepared him for this moment, and he's given him years of experience that he can stand on. And I think it's really been helpful for him in these days. And if you think about him, pray for him, because I do feel like God's given Louie a very clarion voice for these moments. He is very centric on Jesus and the gospel, and he will not bend. And that is actually what the whole world needs right now. So I love it.
Well, we're thankful for all you guys are doing. The shirt, the sweatshirt that you sent us for y'all's new album, I wore it for a couple days, and then I gave it to one of my kids, and he never takes it off. And
I love that he's just wearing that around. It's one of the good ones.
He's wearing it everywhere, and I always love it. But on that note, that was a good segue, Jamie. On that note, that album, Shelley.
Thank you, Jamie.
And I don't know if it's because I was in the room.
Yeah.
You know, like I was at Passion this year, which was
Definitely
just
a part of it, I'm sure.
unbelievable. But that album, and it's so funny. And I think that this is how God works as well, is some of the songs Aaron's creating, and then this album that you guys just released, it feels like they were written for this time.
Yeah.
But they were written months ago. Or, you know, Austin Stone Worship has released an album that was written months ago. And I think how good God is, that in these moments, we can listen to people sing his word over us and sing worship and just go, this feels like they knew what was going to be happening.
For such a time as this.
Yeah.
I think just like everything with God isn't surprised.
Yeah.
So he actually is prepared. And while he wouldn't want us to experience the brokenness that we have chosen, we chose it long ago, and we live in a sinful earth, and we understand that that's where we are. Mm-hmm. But I think God has a way of using it for good. And one of the ways that happens right now is through worship. And worship is prophetic. You know, it doesn't just happen in real time as a response to something. It pronounces something. Mm-hmm. It actually speaks into earth before earth knows that it needs it. Mm-hmm. And worship in these days has taken that mantle, and it's carrying forth God's purposes. And he's bringing earth now into it. And so I love it. I think Roar was exactly what you're talking about. It was prophetic. It was written for days that we didn't even know that we would encounter. Mm-hmm. And yet we're here, and now this can become a soundtrack for those days.
It's so good. It's so good. Okay, I have to ask you, who's doing most of the cooking at the Giglio house?
Me, because you know me and Aaron are holding it down.
Yes, that's true.
Aaron taught me everything I know because I learned from him on Instagram. He is the best chef ever.
I told Aaron the other day, I said, babe, if you want me to cook, I will. He said, don't take that joy away from me right now. So I said,
That's
okay.
good. You know, it is therapy. It really is for me. It's like there's so many decisions all day and there's so many things that are changing and ebbing. It feels like I can control what we're eating and intaking, and that feels good, you know? So I love creating. I love coming up with fresh things. I love creating the old things that make you feel at home too. We have go-to meals just like every family would, and we create those just to make us feel like comforted. Yeah. And so yeah, cooking is a form of therapy for me in these days. It's kind of like gardening for a lot of people. There's just some things that you go to that just make you feel most at home.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing you picked up in the grocery store recently? Because you were just like, I don't know why, but I'm going to throw it in my cart.
Well, I have this favorite restaurant that's doing to go. You know, we're really trying to support local businesses, and I know everybody's in that boat, but man, such difficult days for people. And so many restaurants here are completely closed altogether. But there are a few in our area that are doing takeout. And so we're trying to be good stewards, just trying to help people. And that's one of the ways we can do it. So most recently, we went to this place that has Thai food, and we got this to-go shrimp curry, and it is absolutely fantastic. So maybe my favorite food that we've eaten is either bolognese as takeout, which is possible, or maybe this curry. I don't know, one or the other.
I love it so much. Well, Shelley, thanks for spending a couple minutes with me.
Always, Jamie.
Love it. Appreciate what you and Louie are doing. So proud of y'all. And just thanks for leading the way. I mean, in so many ways. I tell you this every time I see you, but seriously, thank you so much. And us Ivies and Austin are cheering you guys on.
We love you so much. We appreciate you and can't wait to see you soon.
Hey, okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us with Jamie and Shelley with the quarantine edition with the Ivies. Thank you for watching.
That was it, guys. Happy Hour Quarantine Edition.
Bye.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
#quarantine.
This is Amos Ivey.
With Ivies.
And that was my friend Shelley Giglio. Show us your treats. What are you treating yourself with? Especially if you're making that coffee, because we want to learn how to make it.
Yep.
Hashtag it My Quarantine Treat. Tag me on Instagram. I'm at Jamie Ivey. Guys, if you haven't seen the other episodes, you got to go see them. Christine Kane, Christy Wright are there. Alina Pitts, my son Caden Ivey. We're doing Ivey Family Chopped. We're doing all kinds of stuff. And coming up soon, we got Quarantine Olympics.